Welcome to DVS Talks. So, last class we discussed track operation. Okay. So, last class we discussed track operation, construction, working, and characteristics and advantages, disadvantages of track. And today our topic is cycloconverter. Okay. Cycloconverter. What is cycloconverter? Cycloconverter has a so why you want cycloconverter? These are all we learn. Okay. So first introduction to cycloconverter. Introduction of cycloconverter. So the cycloconverter has been traditionally used only in very high power drives, usually above 1 megawatt, where no other type of drive can be used. Okay. Where you can be used cycloconverter means for high power drives, usually usually above 1 megawatt. Okay, where no other type of drive can be used. Okay, here the cycloconverter will be used in high power drives, and that is nearly about above 1 megawatt. So above 1 megawatt, we can't use any drives. We can use only cycloconverter. Okay, for example, uh, cement tube cement tube mill drives above 5 megawatt, the fifth above 5 megawatt, and the 13 megawatt German Dutch wind tunnel fan drive, reversing rolling mill drives, and ship proposal drives. Okay, so above 1 megawatts where you can obtain means cement tube mill drives are above 5 megawatts, and 13 megawatts German Dutch wind tunnel fan drives, and reverse rolling mill drives, and ship propos- proportional drives we can use cycloconverter. Okay, so where means cement tube mill drives, and German Dutch windle tunnel fan drive, and reverse rolling mill drives, and ship proportional drives. Okay, so the reason for this are that traditionally cycloconverter requires large number of thyristors, at least 36, and usually more for a good motor performance, together with a very complex control circuit, and it has some performance limitations. Okay, the worst of which is an output frequency will be limited to above one third of input frequency. Okay, so cycloconverters have traditionally used in very high power applications that are usually above 1 megawatt. Okay, so where we can't use any drives, we can use only cycloconverter for that applications for above 1 megawatt. So where you so for example, um cement tube mill drives are above 15 megawatts, and 13 megawatts will be German Dutch tunnel fan drives, and reversible rolling mill drives, and ship proportional drives. Okay, so for this reason, the the traditionally cycloconverters requires large number of thyristors, at least 36, and usually more for good motor performance. Okay, it will be more for good motor performance, together with a very complex control circuit. It will be very complex current control circuit, and it has some performance limitations. Here some performance limitations also there. The worst of which is the worst of which is that output frequency will be limited about one third of input frequency. Here the output frequency will be limited one third of input frequency. So cycloconverter will be used in high power drives that that are about 1 megawatt. So this is a black diagram of cycloconverter. Okay, here the frequency of will be the output frequency will be limited one third of input frequency. This is a black diagram for cycloconverter. It is a single phase to single phase cycloconverter. Here frequency input and frequency output. Okay. So cycloconverter means it is it can be controls a frequency that is one third of input frequency. Okay. Next, the cycloconductor has a four thyristors divided into a positive and negative bank of two thyristor of each. Here, four thyristor will be divided into a positive and negative bank of two thyristor each. When positive current flows through in the load, the output voltage is controlled by a phase controller for two positive bank thyristors. Okay, here the negative bank thyristor are kept off and vice versa when negative current flows through the load. Okay, here here four thyristors are divided into four thyristors are divided into positive and negative, two of thyristor each, two of thyristor each. Okay, when positive current flows in the load, the output voltage is controlled by a phase controller of two positive bank thyristor. So the output voltage will be controlled by a phase control of two positive bank thyristors, where negative bank thyristors are kept off, and vice versa when negative current flows in the load, then output voltage is controlled by a phase control of two negative bank of thyristors. Okay. A idealized output waveforms for a sinusoidal load current. Here, idealized output waveform for sinusoidal load current and a 45 degrees load phase angle will be shown in figure. So, we have to shown in figure. So, it is important to keep the non-conducting thyristor bank off at all times. Otherwise, the main could be started via the two thyristor bank, resulting in the waveform distortion and possible device failure from the shorting element current. So the major control problem of cycloconverter is how swap between the banks in the shortest possible time to avoid distortion while it ensuring two banks do not conduct at the same time. Okay. Here the cycloconverter has a four thyristors. Here the cycloconverter has a four thyristors and it is divided into two banks. So two banks that is positive and negative of two thyristor each. Whenever the positive current flows through in the load, then output voltage is controlled by a two positive bank of thyristor when negative bank of thyristors are kept off, vice versa. So that means whenever the negative current will flow through in the load, then the output voltage will be controlled by a negative bank of thyristors. Okay, negative bank of thyristors. Okay, and positive bank of thyristor will be kept in off position. So an idealized output waveform for a sinusoidal load current and at a 45 degrees load phase angle. So it is important to keep the non-conducting thyristor bank. So non-conducting thyristor bank will be in off at all times. Otherwise, the main could be shorted and the two thyristor banks and resulting the waveform distortion and possible device will be failure for the shorting of current. So the major control problem of cycloconverter is how to swap between the banks within the shortest possible time and to avoid distortion while ensuring the two banks and do not connect at the same time. Okay. So the major problem is cycloconverter will be swapping the two banks it is the shortest possible times and to avoid distortion while ensuring the two banks and do not conduct at the same time. Okay. So here a common addition will be a common addition to the power circuit that removes the here a common addition to the power circuit that removes the requirement To keep one bank will be off in place the center tapped inductor called as circulating current inductor between the output of two banks. Both banks can now conduct together without shorting the mains. Also, circulating current in the inductor keeps both banks will be operating all the time, resulting in improved output waveforms. So, this technique is not often used though, because the circulating current in inductor tends to expensive and bulk, and circulating current reduces the power factor and power factor on the input. Okay, here a common addition to the power circuit that is removes a requirement to keep one bank will be in off to a place of center tapped one bank will be off to a place of center tapped inductor that is called circulating current inductor between the output of two banks. When both banks can now conduct together without shorting the mains, also circulating current in inductor keeps both banks operating at all times, resulting in improved output waveform. So this technique is not often used. So why? Because circulating current in inductor tends to expensive and bulky, and circulating current reduces the power factor on the input. Okay, that's why we can operate only one bank of thyristor and other half will be in off state. Okay, so this. Okay, next, in single phase cycloconverter, the output frequency is less than the supply frequency. These converts require natural commutation, which is provided by a AC supply. So during positive half cycle of supply, the thyristors P1 and N1 will be forward bias, and first triggered pulse is applied to a P1, hence it starts conducting. As supply goes to negative P1, gate will be off, and negative half cycle of supply P2 and N1 will be forward bias. P2 is triggered, hence it's a conducting. So in the next cycle of supply, N2 is made positive half cycle and N1 will be made negative half cycle or trigger. Thus, we can observe that here the output frequency is half times of supply frequency. Okay. So in single phase cycloconverter, the output frequency will be less than the input supply frequency. These converters requires natural commutation. Why? Because natural commutation will be, so the natural commutation will be provided by a AC supply. During positive half cycle of supply, thyristor P1 and N2 will be forward bias. First triggering pulse is applied P1 and hence it starts conducting. The supply goes negative when P1 gets in off and negative half cycle of supply, and P2 and N1 will be in forward bias. So P2 triggered, hence it's a conduct. So in the next cycle of supply, N2 is made positive half cycle and N1 will be in negative half cycle are triggered. Thus we can observe that here the output frequency is half times of the supply frequency. Here operation principle, we have to see the cycloconverter. So the following sector will discuss the operating principle of cycloconverter, starting from the simplest one of the single phase to single phase cycloconverter. Okay, so in single phase to single phase cycloconverter, to understand the operation principle of cycloconverter, a single phase, so it will convert AC to A. Cycloconverter means it will convert AC to AC, single phase to single phase. Cycloconverter should be studied it first. So this converter consists of a back-to-back conversion up to full wave rectifier circuit. So cycloconverter need bulk of thyristors. Here we are connected back-to-back connection of full wave rectifier circuit. We have to see in figure, shows the operating waveform for this converter with a resistive load. For zero firing angle, the thyristor will act as like a diode. Note that the firing angles are named as alpha P for a positive converter and alpha N for a negative converter. The input voltage Vs is AC voltage frequency Fi as shown in figure. For easy understanding, assume that all the thyristors will be fired at alpha equal to 0. Here we have to observe single phase to single phase cycloconverter. Here the at first back to back connection of two full wave rectifier will be operating for the converter with a resistive load. Whenever we have zero firing angle, then thyristor will act like a diode, and note that the firing angles are named with alpha P for positive converter and alpha N for a negative converter, and input voltage will be Vs and the AC voltage at a frequency of Fi. Okay, we have, for easy understanding, the thyristor will be triggered fired at alpha equal to 0. Considering the operation of cycloconverter to get 1/4 of the input frequency of the output. For the first two cycles of Vs, the positive converter will be operating supply current to the load. Here positive converter will operate supplying current to the load. It rectifies the input voltage, therefore the load ceases to be 4 positive half cycle as shown in figure 5.13. So next two cycles, the negative converter will operate supplying current to the load in reverse direction. So the current waveforms are not shown in figure because resistive load in the current will have same waveform of voltage but only scaled by the resistance. Note that when one of the converter will be operate, the other one is displayed so that there is no current of circulating between two rectifiers. Have to see this circuit diagram of cycloconverter. Here bridge rectifier will be connected back to back connection. Here this is a converter 1, this is a converter 2, and load will be connected at the middle of this. So it will be connected back to back. Yes, supply voltage will be Vs and output voltage will be V naught and current flowing will be ID. This is circuit diagram of cycloconverter. So in this single phase to single phase cycloconverter, we are connected a single phase bridge rectifier. So one will act as a converter and other will act as a rectifier in this. Okay. One will act as a converter and other will be act as a rectifier in this circuit diagram. Here at starting, so here Vs will be applied. So here the thyristors will be at first one converter will be operated. So positive group of converter will be operated. Okay. Next, coming to waveforms, input and output waveform of cycloconverter. Here we are using a resistive load. So for resistive load, the voltage and current waveform are similar. So this is a BS, so single phase AC voltage, and here output voltage V naught. So it will be obtained only positive half cycle at so at one half, and other half it will be obtained in negative half cycle for alpha equal to 0. Whenever for alpha equal to 60 degrees, the output voltage will be obtained like this. Okay, so and other half will be in negative mode. So for for a for direction pulse, for a positive pulses, for B naught equal to, so this is alpha equal to 60 degrees, and here we have to take output voltage for alpha equal to 90 degrees. So this is the output voltage for alpha equal to 0, alpha equal to 60 degrees, and alpha equal to 90 degrees for a direction for a positive direction pulses. So this is input and output waveforms of cycloconverter. Okay. So today we'll discuss single phase cycloconverter introduction. Okay, and introduction and how it works, operating principle of cycloconverter and some waveforms. Okay, thank you to everyone. So please subscribe to DBS Talk. So today we will discuss the cycloconverter, introduction of cycloconverter, principle and operation of cycloconverter.